Welcome back, 2021. Yeah, it's been a hell of a long time since I've posted a video. Not from working on the car, no desire to post, yes, one, no work on the car, two. Christmas New Year period was pretty full on, and I just had total lack of drive to do anything automotive related. Work's been absolutely insane. We've been selling cars hand over fist, so I just didn't have the time to really sit out here and do anything on the car. I did tap around a little bit and do a few little bits and pieces, which I'll run you through and show you what I've been up to on the Skyline. So I guess what's been happening with me, sold the K25, that went over to Melbourne, so new owner's got that car and he's going to do a full nut and bolt resto on it, which is fantastic. Z car is still at the panel shop, but that should be coming back pretty soon. If you check my Instagram, you would have seen that it was in the paint booth maybe on Wednesday or Thursday, and getting that paint sorted out and that window part fixed, so that's all ready to come back up the hill. I've done a bit of work on the Skyline, like I said before. Bought a 85 model LN60 4Runner, which we're going to put an LS in, an auto trans, and do a bit of a build on that one. So that will be after the Z, after the Skyline, somewhere in the middle there. I guess I'll put all that together, maybe do that at the dealership rather than do that at home, so maybe get more of a group thing with the guys at the office. But I'm going to give you a run through right now, show you what I've been up to on the Skyline, what I've been up to on the motor of the Skyline, and today we're going to throw the motor and trans back in the car, because hopefully the Z will come back from the panel shop next week, which means I can send this out to have all the intercooler piping fabricated, the exhaust all done, and then ship it somewhere to find out who the hell in Perth can do the wiring on the Skyline. But there's a couple of people I've sort of been pointed in the direction of, so hopefully they can do the work. So that'll go, yeah, like out, intercooler pipe, exhaust, wiring, and then back, and hopefully she's running. It does need a few little bits and pieces, but nothing too serious. I think I've worked pretty much everything out now. I think the last little thing I've got to sort out is the mounting for the power steering reservoir, because it knocks the turbo, but you'll see that when it goes back in the car. So stay tuned, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and sorry it's been so long between drinks. So there is the RB25. Just drag it out from its hidey hole. Probably the first thing you notice is I did the wrinkle finish red on the rock covers and the front cover, and took that clear plastic cover off. I didn't like that at all. Got an aircon bracket, got an aircon compressor, got power steering belt, aircon belt, painted the intake manifold black, properly seated all the injectors, which are all not seated correctly. Got a throttle position sensor, fixed all the air bypass properly so that all is on and works rather than being blocked off. Routed all the heater hoses ready to connect to the car, so they're all there ready to go. Fixed up that wiring, the plumbing issue with the hose that was touching. Remember, it was touching down here, so that's further out now and further away. This is further out, further away, sort of stored in a different, sort of located in a different spot now. So you can see that that's going to be a lot better. It's going to not be near the heat as much. That doesn't touch anything in there, so everything's sort of really quite secured in there. So that's pretty much ready to throw back in the car. I've just got to get it on the floor, get the clutch back on, get the gearbox back attached, and then get it lifted and get it in the car. So it's probably going to be a couple of time lapses, but let's get this started. Actually, before I get started on the time lapses of putting that and that back together, I'll show you what I did in here, because there's a few little bits and pieces that needed to be done, which are all done now. Obviously we spoke previously about the wiring harness being from an R34 with no ABS, so we had an ABS delete put in, so I fitted it this is from GTT, it's an ABS delete kit. Made the bracket up here, everything fits in this way nicely. I've just got to tighten that up. I've lost one of the copper washers, it's down there somewhere, so I've just got to sort that out. Got all the aircon lines found, replaced, new seals, that's all done. It's got to tighten, put some bolts in, tighten them up, so they're all good. Just want to keep them out of the way for the moment. The power steering, for some reason, came across and just stuck under in here, and it was all bent up, so I fixed all that, and that's all back now in its correct location. The power steering cooler, so that's in its right location.
Did a restoration on the headlights, so they come up pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the way they look now. So they're all rubbed back, and yeah, they look real clean. Also mounted the intercooler, so that's on there ready to go. Got a bonnet latch, so now I can actually close the bonnet. So yeah, it's all pretty complete in here, I reckon. I reckon there's not too much left to do. But obviously the big job now is to get the donk back in. So let's get underway. Got the flywheel on, the clutch on. I've lined it up, I think as best I can. It's pretty good. Next thing we're going to do is just want to torque up the bolts. Let's do that off camera. Then I'll grab the gearbox over and try get the gearbox located on it. And then we can get it up in the air and get it back in the hole. So it's coming along pretty good. Everything's going together quite nicely. The flywheel bolts had a heap of old Loctite on them, so I had to clean all that off. It went in a bit weird. You probably noticed that in the time lapse, but they're in there now and they're nice and tight. 110 Newton meters or foot pounds, whatever it is, of torque. So they're perfect. Double check. It is 110. So they're done, ready to go. So I'll get the box on it. I'll do them bolts first, get the box on, and then we can get it back up and in the air. So the box is attached to the motor, starter motor's in. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to see that and say, first attempt, yep. It was my first go and I'd lined it up straight, and I didn't think it would be that easy, but it was super easy to get back together. So that's all done now. I've got this harness that was missing when I bought the car. So I've got to get this harness on now, onto the side of the engine. And then I'm going to lift it up and get it into the car. So I'm just going to do this off camera and just mess around for 20 minutes to get this harness on, and then I'll show you what's happened when we're getting the motor back into the car. So see you in a minute. So that harness is all in now. It's all connected. There's a couple of connections I've got no idea, but I'll work it out. That one goes down to where there's a power steering one. You can see it's torn out there, and it's torn out there. So that's that one. So that's okay. I can sort that out. Back of the box here, we've got 3 plugs. So no idea what they do. One of them is obviously the reverse indicator, but that's obviously speed, maybe speed sensor. So one of these will be reverse, but that's the plug that comes with it, and they don't plug into any of those, so work that out after, that's fine. Slave cylinders in, motors in, all the knock sensors are connected, everything's connected under here. So now all we have to do is lift it up nice and high and throw it in the hole, so let's get that to happen. Well, that is it for this episode of Tarmac Obsession. I hope you are enjoying my videos. I know that I've been a bit slack with uploading, but I promise when the Z gets back from the panel shop this next couple of weeks, we'll get a heap more content back up for the Z guys. We'll finally get that motor back into the Z where it belongs, which is going to be awesome. Stay tuned to the channel, subscribe, check my Instagram, but I hope you guys are enjoying it, and we'll see you in the next few days. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.